Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says 8 rockets hit a civilian airport in Vinnytsia, central Ukraine. A barrage of Russian missiles destroyed a civilian airport in Vinnytsia in central Ukraine on Sunday, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has said. I have just been informed about a missile strike on Vinnytsia. 8 rockets. The airport was completely destroyed, he said on Sunday, the 11th day of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Al Jazeera could not independently verify the claim. Russia denies attacking civilian areas. Several cities and airbases in Ukraine have been bombed, shelled or hit with ballistic missiles since Russia launched its invasion. Vinnytsia is in the western area of central Ukraine, far from the Russia and Belarus borders, in an area that has seen fewer such strikes. Moscow calls the campaign it launched on February 24 a special military operation, saying it has no plans to occupy Ukraine, which was once part of the Soviet Union under Moscow's sway but which has now turned to the West and is seeking membership in NATO and the European Union. Zelensky also renewed his demand that Western powers enforce a no-fly zone over Ukraine to prevent more Russian attacks. We repeat every day. Close the sky over Ukraine. Close for all Russian missiles, for Russian combat aircraft, for all their terrorists, he said. If you don't give us at least planes so we can protect ourselves, there's only one thing to conclude. You want us to be killed very slowly. Russian President Vladimir Putin warned on Saturday that Moscow would consider a third-party declaration to close Ukrainian airspace to be a hostile act, and the West so far has rebuffed Zelensky's pleas, fearing a confrontation with Russia. Some 1.4 million people have fled Ukraine to escape fighting, but others stayed behind to join local units and fight against Russia's invasion. Mirny, Ukraine, at any given time, thousands of cars are lined up along eastern Ukraine's roads, packed with families trying to reach border crossings hundreds of kilometers away, trying to find refuge. But there are those who chose to stay put. Like Aniki, a resident of the village of Mirny near Dnipro and a member of the locally formed units known as Territorial Defense, determined to fight the treacherous invasion of Ukraine by Russia. Women, children and the elderly are suffering, he told Al Jazeera's Hoda Abdul Hamid. Homes are bombed at night. Aniki is a seasoned fighter who first took up arms in 2016 to fight pro-Russian separatists in Ukraine's east. We didn't provoke and we didn't want this war, they came to us and we are ready to answer, added the balaclava-wearing Aniki, who did not want to give his real name. The men and women of the territorial defense units know the forest in the Dnipro region well. They usually hunt there but now spend most of their time digging trenches, filling sandbags or building bunkers in case Russian troops come their way. Those unable to fight help in other ways. At the village school, a woman named Ludmila is busy cooking some 200 meals. On the menu is rasolnik, a hearty soup of beef, barley and pickles that will be put in jars and taken to the checkpoints and trenches, where her husband is also on duty. Oksana, whose son-in-law is on a front line with Ukraine's regular army, is also pitching in. My daughter is keeping busy like me, just not to go crazy. It's our country, we have to protect it, we won't leave but it's hard, she says. What can I do, we are all in the same boat. And what can I say about the soldiers who came to our country to kill us and pretend they didn't know? They have been here for more than 7 days and they still don't know. Back in the forest, members of the Territorial Defense Unit brace for a cold night ahead. The Russian forces are still far away, but this has largely been a war of missiles and rockets that are devastating cities and villages. For now, the only safe way for most Ukrainians is to go west, and get as far as possible from the fighting. 11 days into the war, nearly 1.4 million people have fled Ukraine.